All right, and we are so excited to be here with theater instructor Arnelle Lyles. Could you please give us a brief introduction?
Well, I'm Arnelle Lyles. I am the founder and director of the Paul Prince, which is Performing Arts Workshop here at the Police Athletic League.
All right, so we always ask the same questions when we start off. Where are you from and where were you born?
Born and raised here in Atlantic City. Lifelong resident of the city.
And what was it like growing up here in Atlantic City?
It was wonderful to me. I loved growing up here in Atlantic City. All of the rich history and everything that we have here, I was able to be a part of seeing when Atlantic City was a family town. So it's been wonderful.
And has growing up in Atlantic City impacted what you do as an artist?
I would have to say yes. Atlantic City, again, with its history and things like that, it can't help but to inform us as artists, because that's really what art is just reinventing life that has happened. And it's so much of it has gone on here in Atlantic City that we just never run out of material, so to speak.
Okay, all right. And tell us about Paul Prince and what that is.
Okay, Paul Prince is the Performing Arts Workshop, like I said, and it was the brainchild of me and another young man, Darrow, and we decided we wanted to do something where we could teach the children music, dance, and drama, so that when they got out into the world and into their colleges and different high schools, they would be able to compete with other communities of people that have this at their disposal, where we don't, in our community, don't always have this. And it's a program that's offered free. Right now we are sponsored by the Midtown program, and they've been wonderful with sponsoring us, which gives us the opportunity to pay for materials and to put our shows on, because everything takes money, and I didn't want to put the burden of the cost onto the students. So it's wonderful that we have the Midtown Project to come in and to sponsor us in this way.
Now, is Paul Prince only for young people, youth?
No, it's for anyone, but it's geared towards young people, because Paul Prince is supposed to be the first steps of a person finding their craft and finding what it is that they like to do, because everybody is not an athlete. I was not an athlete, so I needed to find something, a place for me where I fit in, somewhere that I could excel and be and shine. And so that's what this program, that's what it was for me as a child, and that's what it was my hope that it would be for somebody else.
Great. Who are some of the artists or people in the arts community who influenced you when you were younger? Not that you're not young now, but when you were maybe Paul Prince age.
I would be remiss if I did not mention Kevin Cheatham. He got me started in theater. Kevin Cheatham and the great Joanna Lassane, the dancing school, Patty Harris. Louise Forrest Johnson. Those were the dancing teachers. Delbert Anderson. I'm really, really bad with names, so I just hope I haven't forgotten anybody that was great that influenced me, but those are some of the big names in the art world in this area.
Okay, so fast forward 5 years since you were young, and one of the Paul Prince ages, and now you're actually one of the big names in the arts here in Atlantic City, and you've earned it. But do you ever feel funny, or does it ever feel weird that now you're looked upon as elder or cornerstone?
Absolutely. I'm on deck. I'm on deck. But it is very sobering, and it's a wonderful feeling to be that person that can influence someone else's life. Like those people that I named influenced me. It is a great feeling overall.
Okay, great. What is it that you want people to get from Paul Prince?
I want them to find something about themselves that they might not have known, a place for them to find greatness, a place where they can realize who they are, because that's what theater has done for me. It's given me a place to shine. It gave me a place. That's my 3-point shot. That's it. It's the place where I'm great. And there's no better feeling than to find your niche. Find out where it is that you fit in the world. And that's what I hope it provides for some of these young people.
Okay, I'm going to bring you back another time to play What's the Word and ask you about some of the artists that you mentioned and some other artists as well. Got a couple more questions for you. You had two of your sons actually came through Paul Prince, and how did they do, and how are they doing now?
Well, my oldest son, which is Eric, he was literally born on stage. I missed a performance because I had to go and have him. So, and up until that time, I was rehearsing and acting right up until the time that he was born. So I knew that that was going to be in him. And he's continuing with his career in acting. He's got his day job, but he auditions and he's constantly in first one thing and another in the theater world, and he has his own podcast and things like that in the entertainment world. So he's still continuing. My youngest son, it wasn't his thing. He's more of an athlete. He found his thing in athleticism, and so that's what he's doing, following his dream as a football player.
Okay, getting close to the end. I saw you running the kids through auditions, and as someone who has auditioned a couple times yourself, what advice would you give to new actors, young actors, old actors, nervous actors about how to audition?
Well, I've never been able to get out of the nervousness. I absolutely hate to audition. I do. So my advice would be practice in front of a mirror so that you can see what the director is going to see when he's auditioning you. The more you do it, the more comfortable you are, and the more at ease you are within yourself to actually go in and do that audition. But I don't really know anyone that has ever said they're not nervous when they go on audition.
Okay, next to last question. We live in a world now where actors don't necessarily have to wait for Hollywood to come to them. They can write and produce their own platforms and films, theater, and so on. What would be your advice to actors who are taking that on now, the role of not just the actor but the writer, producer, etc.?
I would say study. I would say read. I get a lot of information from reading. I actually love to read, and I think that there's nothing can replace the study. Nothing can replace actually putting the work in and studying your craft, because it's going to make you better at whatever it is that you decide to do.
Great. Last question. We'll get you out on this. Is there anything you want to talk about or anything you want to say that I neglected to ask you?
No, I think you covered everything, Ray. I think you did. The only thing I would extend to the listening audience is whatever it is in life that you find joy in, to take part in that. Take part in that. Give your whole self to that, because that at the end of the day is what's going to be important, is the things that bring you joy, the things that make you happy. Life is definitely too short to be fooling around with stuff that don't make you happy or that doesn't bring you joy.
I lied. I do have one more question. For somebody who's watching this interview, how can they get involved with Paw Prints?
Absolutely. A great question. I wish I had thought of it. Just come on over to the Police Athletic League on New York and Mediterranean Avenue on Wednesday or Thursday from 5 to 7. Just come on in and join the class. It's that easy.
All right. Thank you, Arnelle Lyles.
Thank you, Raymond Tyler.